So as EVP of Strategic Insights and Research, what would you say is the most dramatic change in the industry in the past 5 years?
It's been a heck of a 5 years. I would say social networks, DVRs, and online video are definitely the top three things that have exploded or evolved or all of the above in the past 5 years that have really changed the way that consumers watch what they're watching, but also really relate to it and communicate around it and share it. So I think that compared to 5 years ago when your favorite show, all you could do was watch it, now you can interact with it in many, many ways, and I just think that that's changed the whole business dramatically.
So what are you working on right now?
Wow, there's a lot going on. One thing that we're just crossing the finish line on is something that we're calling audience immersion. And it's sort of the idea of bringing the mountain to Muhammad. We actually conducted live focus groups of various subgroups of our demographics for the executives here at MTV Network so that we could really make sure that they're hearing how our consumers are talking about television and how they're consuming it. And it was very raw and real and live and exciting, and it really just resonated with our executives in a way that a lot of other research reports just can't.
So you're involved with the new initiative SIM.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about it and what its goals are?
Absolutely. Basically, we have three major pillars of the whole media landscape that have come together. We've got agencies, advertisers, and media providers, people like MTV Networks. And it really isn't even just at the research level, but at the CEO level, that there was really a lot of us that said we're just not where we need to be in terms of measurement. And, the old saying, you can't make money off what you can't measure, or whatever it is, I tend to butcher those, is totally true. And I think that we are just trying to accelerate and innovate and populate with more voices, research vendor voices, that can help, like I said, accelerate research that's happening today, both on multi-platform and set-top box.
With the multi-platform component of that, can you go into a little bit more detail of the plans?
Well, we've written a couple of RFPs, and as soon as we have one more meeting of the original 14 members, actually we're up to 15 now, we're still sort of getting some of the administrative stuff and process stuff together so that we can actually issue the RFPs. It's almost like an open audition, almost a casting call for us to hopefully get a lot of responses about how we can explore measuring how people are consuming content on TV and online.
So with your participation with SIM, who would you say is the most important person or firm out there in research today, and why?
That's a good question. I guess I don't think there's any one that's the most important. I mean, obviously there's Nielsen, and $70 billion worth of advertising time is based on that currency. But what we're seeing emerge is not just a renaissance in television programming and ways of consuming it, but also ways of measuring it and thinking about it. And I think that we've seen over the past few years some very interesting methodologies. It's just that whether or not all of those companies are going to make it onto the other side of this recession is what remains to be seen.